All right. What is the lag on this? Not terrible. Okay. Oh, you know what? Interesting. If I step away from that, alright, apologize about that. Let's make sure we're back up. Okay. Alright, I've been hard at work all day and I've gotten a little bit of stuff done. I made the neck today. So this is going to be filled with these ball bearings. For those of you who don't know what we're making, we are making a chainmail balloon dog. It's like, why are we making a chainmail balloon dog? Because I saw a picture of someone making a crochet balloon dog, and I said, you know what, that'd be cool if I made it out of chainmail. So now I've dedicated too much time and resources to this project. And it turns out I'm going to be committing a lot more time and resources to this project, so excuse me. Which is fine. It won't be the end of the world. It's not all going to happen overnight, but I need a lot of ball bearings. And apparently, they're really expensive, so that's going to be fun. Worth it, though. If I can get this to work, it'll be totally worth it. Alright. So, what have we got? We got... Well, let me attach these rings and then... There. Okay. Slide these out of the way. This is what we have so far. Let me zoom out on this overhead camera. Okay. I gotta make the tail, which is what I'm working on, this little piece right here. Right, but we've got the neck, 4 legs, and a body. And they're gonna be connected. I got a little chain coming out the bottom of this sausage link of a leg here, and it's gonna go in here, right, in the bottom of each of these legs and the body, and on every piece is a hole big enough to pass this chain through. And it'll go in there. And as to how I secured it in place, I don't know if I can get this to roll up far enough for people to see what I did. But I just put 3 rings in the end of the chain. Nah, you're not going to be able to see it, but I took 3 18 gauge 1/4 inch rings and hooked them through the end of the chain like so, and it's just sitting on the other side of this queen ring here at the end of the sausage link, right? I don't know how well you guys can see that. Move all this stuff out from underneath. right? So that's what's holding it in place. So like 1.5-inch sections of Byzantine chain will connect these together like so, and hopefully it'll be enough to get a balloon dog looking feature out of it. And we're not going for, this is something I want to clarify. So what I'm making is the chainmail version of the crochet version of the balloon dog that I saw. So it's not going to look exactly like a balloon dog because the yarn and the chain stretch differently than the balloon material, rubber or latex or whatever they use. So this is going to look like the crochet version, or the knitted version, I think it was crochet, of the balloon dog, which means you'll be able to see a strand of material connecting the bottom of the legs together and a strand of material connecting the ears together. And that's not what a regular balloon dog looks like, but for this, I am okay with it. So, can the people on TikTok see what I'm doing? There, I think that's a better angle. Sorry for anyone watching on any other platform. So I did get up this morning and I came down here and I've been working on this pretty much all day. I had to figure out how I was going to run this chain, right? And I originally, in the end of these body parts, I had a 1/4-inch ring in this space where this queen ring here, and it was a little too small, so I had to take them all apart and put a 1/4-inch ring in here. And I made some mistakes last night while on stream that I had to fix. So pretty happy with how that worked out. And then I got the neck done. Now I need to make the tail, the head, and 2 ears. And I might get away with the rings I have left. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna be able to make the face, the tail, and I've got the neck made. So I just need enough material to make 2 ears. I have to estimate, which means we'll have to put this project on to the side, and then we'll work on something else. I don't know, I don't have any other big projects like this. I just have small stuff, which is fine. We can get started on, I've got like 20 bracelets to make and 40 necklaces or something, but in the meantime, we can work on that stuff. And then my motorcycle's supposed to hopefully be done on Monday, so we'll see how that goes. They just replaced the shocks. So we got new shocks for it. And then once that's back, I'll work on the gas tank cover. I would like to get the gas tank cover done, but more importantly, if it's riding weather, I'm going to go out and ride. I've only been out once this year, It's like I took the bike out for a test drive after getting it all cleaned up, sitting in the garage over the winter, and the front brakes locked up. Now, I have a ABS system on my Road King, and that was quite unexpected, but turns out I had brake fluid crystallize inside my ABS unit, right? And last year when I had them change the brake fluid, it pushed those crystals out into the rest of the brake system. So when I squeezed the brake, right, it got locked up on that crystallization. I didn't know that could happen. I don't know why as an industry they use brake fluid that can crystallize. It's like, I understand you need to change your brake fluid frequently, like every 2 years minimum. But I know people, they'll go, out onto a lot, and there'll be a car out there that's been sitting for 30 years, and they'll push it around, and the brakes on it still work. Like, the fluid inside the brake lines didn't crystallize. So I don't know what's going on with motorcycles. It's a weird thing. Like, I had to ask other bikers about it. I was like, is this for real? Because I'd never heard about it. And apparently it's a thing. So I got that fixed. Cost me what? Well, okay. I got new tires, oil change, and had the brake system completely redone and upgraded to stainless steel brake lines. So all of that cost me like $6,000 at the very start of the riding season. So I was a poor boy. And then I had one good ride, went out for several hours, got back, and bike was sitting for a little bit, didn't have time to ride. Next thing I know, there's oil pooling at the very end of the exhaust. Bikes lean to the left, the exhaust runs along the bottom of the bike, and there's oil pooling at the back on the ground. And it's like, okay, what's going on here? There were actually 2 places where oil was leaking, or draining rather. And what was happening is fluid was coming out of the shock and like draining down the exhaust pipe onto the ground. So that's what it's back in the shop for now, and I just want to go on a ride. So it'd be nice. Thank you for the likes, much appreciated. So it's like it would be awesome to get the gas tank cover finished before the end of riding season this year, but it's not going to take priority over getting out and riding. The longest portion of the gas tank cover that is, it'd be done except for the fact that I'm not very good at working with leather, and I'm working on rather a leather barrier for between the chainmail and the gas tank. So just to protect the gas tank, I don't want to do any permanent damage to it if I don't have to. I do. Here's another cool thing I want to do. So, what was I watching? I was watching probably TikTok or something, and some video had this old truck, and the wheel wells on the front of the truck had chains going across it. Now, I don't know how smart of a thing this is to do, but But now I'm looking at the front fender and like, how can I add chainmail to that? Where are we at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. 24. 6 to go. Let's actually count those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Each little addition takes 3 rings, so I gotta add 18 rings total. And then we'll be at the desired length for the diameter of the tail. And then the tail I'm gonna make probably 1.5 inches. The neck is only 1 inch. So the tail will be a little bit bigger than the neck. And the face I'm going to make 1.5 inches. Oh, what am I doing? And then the ears, 2 inches. I don't want to make them too heavy. Okay. So you're looking at it and you're going, okay, chainmail balloon dog seems like an odd thing to do. How is it going to stand up on its own? It should be under a little tension when it's all said and done. Not too much, because that'll break it, right? You don't want to make a piece that's under so much tension that if someone picks it up, it falls apart. Oh, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. So, where was I? Chainmail sculpture. Chainmail is like, it's very liquid, right? There's not a lot of support to it, right? So it's difficult to make it stand up on its own. But I think by making each body section and filling them up with stainless steel ball bearings, it should make it rigid enough to stand on its own. That's the goal anyway. We'll see what happens. Alright. Okay. Zoom in here a little bit. There we go. Alright. Come on. I got a pile of rings here. And I've got this bag left to work with. So I think just by judging off what I've used up so far, I'm going to be able to make like the face and one ear with this. I don't think I'll have enough rings for the face and both ears, but I should be relatively close. We'll see what happens. In other words, I shouldn't have to order too many more rings. Drop frame 63%. Well, no problem. I'm just eating pizza. SL Modi, how you doing tonight? Got someone popping up over on Twitch. If you don't like the platform you're on, we are live on Facebook, X, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. We are getting a lot of drop frames again tonight. I don't know what that's about, but it worked the second stream. I really want access to the fiber cable in front of my house because I'm tired of not having adequate upload speeds, so I apologize to anyone watching. You know what would be cool? What would be really cool, right? I get access to that fiber cable in my front yard, and then, like, all of a sudden, people just start coming in and watching like crazy. Because the stream quality is finally good enough. That would be cool. Alright, that should be 30 right there. Unless I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 29, and 30. Alright. So, that's our diameter, right? This end will come down and connect to here, and we'll make the body of this piece wider and go from there. So, SL Modi, what kind of pizza you eating? I am a Supreme Pizza fan. Pepperoni sausage, green peppers, black olives, yellow onions. There's a pizza place called Valeo's here in town, and I like them out of everyone. We have a bunch of different pizza parlors. Well, it's funny people try to pronounce your name. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. All right. Come on. There you go. So, trying to remember the name of this pizza place I grew up right around the corner from. My stepdad would know the name of that place. He really liked it. Yeah, I don't know. It's not Garbanzo's. I want to call it Garbanzo's, but it's not Garbanzo's. Well, it might be. I don't know. But it was really good, cheesy, greasy pizza. This song, I don't know why this song is so loud. And it's only loud on my computer. Can you guys hear music? I should have checked the volume. Can you hear music coming through? Alright, let's see here. Coming through the stream. Get out of the way, mouse. Alright. Then in my hometown, there's a place called Flying Pie Pizzeria. That's a... they make like really... I don't know if you call them high-end specialty pizzas. But whenever I go back home, I try to grab one of their pies. And they're expensive, but it's so worth it. Costco's finest, there you go. I haven't been to a Costco in years. And the reason is, I got a membership to a Costco shortly after I bought a house and after I got back from Iraq. And I think I went to Costco like twice, and then I had everything I need, you know, for like the next 10 years. I lived in that house for 8 years, and then moved up here, and I still had shop towels. So I only did 1 year of Costco membership because I didn't need to buy anything else. Because I had bought so much the first 1 or 2 times I went that I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I won't need to go to Costco again for 10 years. I'm making you hungry, talking about pizza. Oh yeah. Well, now I live in the Midwest, and they're very particular about their pizza here. Right? Like, you'd think I'm an hour... I'm 2 hours from Chicago proper, but I'm an hour from the city limits, right? And there's a Chicago-style pizza that you would think would be prevalent in this area, but it's not. They have some kind of Midwestern-style pizza. It's like Chicago-style where the sauce is on top of the cheese. Yeah, I don't know, worked Domino's too many years of your life, so you're all pizzaed out for a while. Fair enough. And you can hear the music? Good. Oh no. The music should not be off. The music should still be playing. Yeah. Through on Twitch, Facebook, X, and YouTube. For TikTok people, they gotta rely on what my phone picks up. I don't want to make it too loud. I don't know, it's always a battle trying to get these settings correct. Especially when my live access to TikTok gets turned off. I don't know why it happened. I don't know why I got it in the first place. All of a sudden, like, okay. When I was streaming regularly back last year, like almost every night, when I was streaming regularly, I could not get access to TikTok Live through my computer. Then I come back just briefly just to test out if anything had changed, and TikTok gave me access, and I had access for like 2 streams. And then I went to go stream last night, and it said I could not stream. My streaming content was not, I don't know, something. There's a long delay, so you talking, what do you type? Yeah, so that long delay is caused by AT&T and T-Mobile not giving me access to the fiber cable out in front of my yard. I'm trying to mitigate that. I got a new modem installed. I got the computer hardwired in, and the lag is just is what it is. So you go to Costco for the $5 chicken and very rarely pizza. Like I said, I haven't been in forever. Not likely to go back anytime soon. But if I go back, I will try the chicken. I've heard tell of their hot dogs and how the CEO said if you raise the price of the hot dogs, that'll be the last thing you ever do. And then he threatened the board or something. And then Costco set up like their whole hot dog distribution system. No idea if that story's true. Just what I heard on the internet. So, yeah, see what's crazy is there doesn't seem to be too much of a lag on TikTok, and my phone is connected to a Wi-Fi extender, and I'm streaming the TikTok live through there, okay? And that has less lag than the hardlined computer connected to the modem. And I don't understand that at all. So, when I called AT&T for a new modem, and they're like, oh, you better return your equipment, otherwise you'll get a $180 charge, right? But this is the modem that I moved up here with. I'm sorry, this is the modem that I got installed when I moved up here. And it's 7 or 8 years old at this point. Maybe 9. And so I thought, there's no way they want this back. And within an hour of putting in my request, I got an email saying, you don't need to return your equipment, just make sure to recycle your electronics in the appropriate area. So I had to take it down to the little electronics recycling place here in town, which I didn't know existed. And then I went across the street to the Public Works office, and I had to buy a new recycling bin because mine has a giant hole in the bottom. And there's been nothing that I've done to cause a giant hole in the bottom of the recycling bin. So I'm, blaming it on the trash guy that drives around and picks up the recycling bins and dumps them into his truck. I think that's much more likely to be the problem, or the reason there's a hole. Okay. So I think I should have gotten a new one, like, I've had my recycling bin for many years without issue. It got a hole from the truck driver. Why can't I get a new one for free? Is that not what I pay monthly? Ethan, how you doing? Did I finish the Finnegan's Wake flag? Yes, I did. Someone was asking about that last night. I can actually take my phone over there and show you. But then no one else gets to watch. I'm echoing bad, don't know if it's just you. Yeah, we were taking a good 2 or 3 minutes between what I say and when you receive it, but it's fine, just so you know. Yeah, it's that's the way it's been. It's one of the reasons why I stopped streaming, because I couldn't get quality upload speed down here. Okay. Am I echoing for anyone else? Does anybody... Because, Ethan, you're being recorded by my phone. I don't know why my phone would be echoey. There's not like there's any sound settings. You know what I mean? Unless it's just, like, I have walls on either side of me and only soundproofing on one side and my voice is bouncing off the other side. I need a professional. That's what I need. I need someone to come down here and tell me exactly what to do for sound and lighting and data upload speed. Yeah, let me know when you come back. I'll grab this phone, turn some lights on, and I'll show you where the Finnegan's Wake flag is hanging. And if you're on another platform, there is video of the Finnegan's Wake flag hanging up in my basement on TikTok. It was you? Okay. Let me take a break here real quick. Alright. What are we looking at here? More. Oh, I guess I don't need to flip the camera. Hang on. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure abject terror. Alright. Okay, so the Finnegan's Wake flag is hanging up right here. There's a leather background mounted behind it, and it's on a spear. Right? But it's all done. Something like 35,000 rings. Alright, I'm gonna go turn the lights off. Sorry if me walking around makes you dizzy. Alright, I apologize. Alright, SL Modi, Slomodi, Slow-Mo, I don't know how to say your name, but... Alright, are we back? Let's see here. There we go. Alright, back to work. Haven't around a while. Did you get set up to make your own rings? No, I haven't. I'm not set up to make my own rings. I'm slowly getting there. Actually, I'm trying to think if I've put any money into my whole chainmail setup in a while. I don't think I have. Because I haven't... Okay, so there's a reason I haven't. And it's because I've been busy making stuff with the supplies I have on hand. Right? And so completing most of these projects has not been cost prohibitive enough for me to go, okay, I'm going to make my own rings. It isn't, you know, my plans. But right now, I am just, you know, using up stuff that I've had on hand laying around. So until I'm going to have a hard time being incentivized enough to make my own ring cutting setup. Until I get to a point where, you know, it's just got to happen. I got to have a project large enough where it's cost prohibitive for me not to make my own rings. So, and that day will come. As I weave all these rings together, they're slowly getting used up. These are newer rings. I only had these for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, as opposed to most of the rest of the rings I've been using. But most of the old stuff that I had is gone. Right? I see 1, 2, 3 containers from where I'm sitting right now of old stainless steel rings. I have some aluminum. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I don't care for the idea of just holding on to it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I could do something with it, but I'd rather spend my time working on other projects. Because I have a list, I have a list of ideas that I want to get to. This balloon dog is on my list of ideas. I wasn't actually planning on working on this for some time, but I had these rings on hand, and I was like, okay, my bike's in the shop. I can't work on the gas tank cover right now. Let me find something else to do. And then I started putting this together, and I was like, okay, this is actually might be feasible. This, you know, might be doable. So, I've been following your work for a very long time. Glad to see you. Anita, how you doing? Your name looks very familiar. I'm assuming we are Facebook friends. I think we are Facebook friends. But how are you tonight? And don't mind the lag. I'm aware of it. Trying to fix it, but I don't know how much more I'm gonna be able to improve it for now. All right. So I'm working on the tail. Gonna make the tail and the face and maybe one ear. And once we get all those done, I need to just bite the bullet. Okay? Okay, so this is 1,000 stainless steel ball bearings, approximately, right? That's when I think of the number 3,000, I think it's a lot. And so when I got these 3 small containers in the mail, I was like, oh no, this is bad. So I thought 3,000 ball bearings. I thought 3,000 ball bearings of any size would be enough to fill this balloon dog up. But no, it takes me 2 of these, right, to fill up most of one of the legs or the body, one of these pieces, right? So I'm going to need a lot more, and what I need to do is just bite the bullet. When I go to order more rings to finish this, we'll see how far I get. I will order the ball bearings, or like overnight them or something. So, but it's oh, I'm waiting. I'm hesitant just because it's like $250, $300, like $250 on the low end, and I might end up needing more filler ball bearings. So it's like I still got to buy groceries here in a little bit. All the rest of my bills are paid. It's fine. It was definitely not the kind of money I wanted to dump into this project, but it looks like it's going to. I don't want to jinx myself, but so far as the pieces come together, what is this light doing? Knock it off. As the pieces come together into this little balloon animal here, you know, I want it to be a very nicely finished piece. So I've kind of put myself in this situation where I started this project thinking I would use supplies I had on hand, and it turns out I did not have those supplies. So I'll just have to bite the bullet and spend the money. Another reason why I don't have my own ring cutting setup at this point is that a lot of stuff has just, like, okay, the $6,000 I spent on my bike at the beginning of May, right? And now my bike's back in the shop. So that's more money going towards that. And great, happy to watch along. Yes, Facebook friends. Okay, okay. Right on. Well, thanks for stopping by. So the real reason I don't have a ring cutting setup is because I have a motorcycle. And also, it's like, it's the hottest part of summer, and the AC is going out of my truck, so I'm going to have to... It's not... It's not out, right? If I went and started up the truck right now, the air conditioning would probably work, right? But if I drive to the gas station, turn the truck off, grab what I need, come back out, the air conditioning won't start back up when I start the truck, and I don't know why. So I'll have to get that looked at. I'm at the point with I need to make the decision on my truck. Do I buy a new vehicle, or do I just keep pouring money into my truck? It's getting to be about the same amount a year as a car payment would be to repair it on every repair. But if I just keep going and keep repairing it, eventually everything will be like 2-3 years old. It'll almost all be brand new. All right. So I would like the truck to last me another 10 years. That would be nice. I don't want to buy another vehicle. I'm perfectly content with the truck I have. And the other two vehicles that I want, the Bronco doesn't have the engine size. Well, okay. They made, I think it was something like 100 Broncos with V8s in them. Some Coyote engine or something. And that would be awesome to own one of those, but, you know, they're numbered and they're also like $500,000 a piece. So I like the new Bronco. I like big, bulky SUVs. I think they look cool. I thought they looked cool in, you know, the 80s and 90s when they were popular. I've owned 2 International Scout 2s. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to buy a Bronco because I don't think that they put in the right engine size. To be honest, I'm sure it would be fine, and I'm just nitpicking over nothing. Best years. Okay. So, maybe if I went and test drove one of the new Broncos, I'd be okay with it. The other vehicle I would get is I would upgrade my truck from an F-150 to an F-250. There's no reason I need an F-250. There is, I think it's a 7.2 liter V8 that is only available in F-250s and larger Fords. And I was reading and reading and reading about this engine for a long time. And I would really like to have a vehicle that had that engine in it. I don't remember why. Just, you know, lots of torque, lots of horsepower, fuel efficiency, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't need an F-250. I don't need a truck, but if you happen to have the opportunity to get a truck, I highly recommend getting one. Okay. I had a Ford Fiesta, a 1980 burnt orange Ford Fiesta. I had a 1992 Geo Metro. I had a 72 International Scout 2. And then, what happened? I joined the Army and I got a little Nissan pickup truck that I bought from another service member. And that got me through nursing school in DC, like back and forth from our apartment to class every day. All the way down to Louisiana. And then when I got to Louisiana, I was getting deployed. So I sold it to another service member for like $500. I think I only bought it for $500. Because he wasn't deploying with us that month. Right? A month later, everyone gets put on the list to deploy. And so he sells the truck to his mom. And she lived in New Orleans, and this was in, we left for Iraq in 2004, and when we got back in 2005, New Orleans and Louisiana had just been hit by Hurricane Katrina, and the truck had been lost in the hurricane, per my friend's, according to his mom, I guess. So then what I get? I got back from Iraq. I needed a vehicle. I got a Mitsubishi Diamante. Good car, fun little ride, very sporty. Excuse me. The problem was I was stationed in South Texas at the time, so I had a black car with a black leather interior in South Texas, and the air conditioning would just kind of go over you, and if you parked your car in the sun for any amount of time during the summer, it would just be 1,000 degrees whenever you opened up the car door. Didn't matter if you cracked the windows or not. It was that car actually got driven by a kid we fostered, until we found out he was selling illegal stuff out the back of it, and then we took that away from him, and he turned 18 and left. And then I sold it to someone. And they ran a red light, and I got the ticket because they had never submitted the paperwork saying that they had bought the car, I guess, something like that. So I had to go down to the police station or the courthouse or wherever it was, and you're like, yeah, here's the, I sold this to so-and-so document, I didn't run this red light kind of deal. So before I sold the Diamante, while our foster kid was driving it, I'd bought my F-150 at that point, and I'd have it ever since. So 12 years now, and like I said, it's a 2011, so it's 14 years old. I would like it to last another 10 years. I can only hope. I just had the timing chain redone last year. That was about $4 grand, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of, I don't know. I just keep dumping money into the truck and it keeps running. And Mac, how you doing? Yeah, got a weekend stream going on. Just hanging out, getting some stuff done. trying to use up as many of these rings as I can so I can find out how many I need to order. I could sit here and count them out. Like, I know how many rings. There's 810 rings in this piece right here, roughly. So I know that much. Excuse me. So I could probably like guess like I need 600 rings for the ears, 400 rings for the face, you know. And I could probably count all that out. You're doing good? I'm doing real good. Sitting here making some chainmail. I got the way these little sausage links are going to connect. I got that figured out. So that was, like, I made some mistakes last night while on stream, so I corrected that, and then I closed up the ends of these. Right? I don't know if you can see that. And I had a 1/4 inch ring in here, and I had to increase it to a 5/16 diameter ring, so that the chain connecting them could fit. It wouldn't fit through the 1/4 inch ring. Son's got a Fox Body Mustangs rebuilding and a Denali 350. He's won a Ford F-150 single cab. Very nice. You had a 92 Geo Metro, bright green. Nice. Mine was teal, I think. Yeah, they made a couple different versions of those little egg-shaped casket cars. Yeah, Byzantine instead of round mail because the round mail was just too bulky. So, on the inside here, there are 3 1/4 inch rings, 3 18 gauge 1/4 inch rings holding it in place. Like, uh-oh, okay. That's my alarm. Come with me. Alright, we're going to dismiss that. And then, where's my camera flip? Host, guest. Flip camera. There we go. Okay, so I set this up to run for... I got my phone here that I'm streaming to TikTok on. I set this up to run for an hour, my timer, because last night it ran for an hour and then it closed out on me because I got the, what do you call it? The puzzle piece of doom that pops up, and then all of a sudden TikTok stopped streaming for me. So I set an alarm for an hour. Hopefully it pops up here and I'll get back on the action here. You're in Louisiana? Right on. Oh, thank you for your support. Alright, so what was I saying? Okay. On the inside of this sausage link down here, there are 3 of these that hold it in place so it can't slide through the end of this body or leg or whatever section of the balloon dog this is. I hope that makes sense. I'll only leave the camera like this for a few minutes, because if it doesn't pop up, then it doesn't matter. Hopefully it does and we can move past. Alright. But I am just sitting here weaving this sheet. Come on. Anita, what part of Louisiana are you from? If you've never been to Louisiana or had the pleasure, I highly recommend it. There are... Okay, you got to go down and try the food. And then New Orleans has a really cool history. everyone always wanted to go to Mardi Gras every year. I was there for 3 years. And so Mardi Gras had passed when I first got there. And then the second Mardi Gras, I was deployed. And then the third, we were told that we could not go per our command. So I never made it to Mardi Gras. But, alright. Also maybe too stiff. Now the round mail, it's pretty flexible. So I don't know. It's just too bulky. I think it would have worked well. I'm actually concerned about the flexibility of the Byzantine, to be honest. So, I don't know. Are you saying we're off on an adventure because I flipped the phone camera around? Alright. Alright. All of my cars have had problems. Right? Like wrong, just weird. Like Diamante had, what do you call it? It was a black car with a black interior in southern Texas. Was it a hot day up there? Your brother-in-law was at the Ren Fair. Yeah, it was like the hottest day today that we've had. Okay, that's what I was asking. I did pick up the phone earlier and show the Finnegan's Wake flag. Someone popped in and was asking about it. Which is worse there because there was no Arab movement. It was super hot earlier today. I was very glad I mowed my lawn last night. Alright, I don't know if this puzzle piece of death is gonna pop up or not. So if you're watching on TikTok, I will, if the stream dies, I'll just open it back up. Okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this back around. Flip the camera. And then get this set up back the way it was. Come on. Don't touch any buttons. Okay. Alright. You had to run errands all day, but your car AC is the best? Good. Either that or you'll go to the purple app. There you go. Yeah, we are live on Facebook, Twitch, X, and YouTube. And I had live access to TikTok, and then for 2 streams, and they took it away. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I am not going to make it to the Renaissance Festival this year. I would like to go to the one out in Janesville next year. So, but I did stumble upon, you guys might have heard me complain about this in the past, about the unofficial Bristol Renaissance Fair Facebook group. Ran by someone not affiliated with the fair, and the people in there are losers. Let me put it that way. Not like, I'm talking about the admins, right? They are what you think of when you hear the term loser. They're just authoritarian tools. The Bristol is so expensive. Why should you win tickets for it, but like 40 per person minimum? Yeah. Yes, the Bristol Fair has gotten absurdly expensive from what I've heard. Food, drinks, parking. There was someone making commentary about Bristol Renaissance Fair in Bristol, Wisconsin, on the Wisconsin-Illinois border, has a rule in their rules section that says you cannot go out and eat in your car. Right? They want you to eat the food inside. But if you want to eat a peanut butter jelly sandwich or feed your kids because they don't want to eat fair food, you're not allowed to. Apparently. According to their rules. So, people do it anyway, and I don't think it's really enforced that much, but... And it's not that big. Don't charge me $40 just to spend more money. Yeah. Well, and this was the, like, topic of the discussion in the comments. It's owned by a corporate Renaissance Festival company, which I think everyone came to the conclusion of that was counterintuitive to the nature of how Renaissance festivals should be ran. Like, I don't want the owner of the Renaissance Festival to be worried about his stockholders. You know? It's like I think they look at Disneyland and they go, "Yeah, we can charge more." You know? Or Disney World. Oh, come on. And it's like, "No, you really can't." So, yeah, they don't allow you to re-enter. We brought food in with us because you'll just eat it at the gate. There you go. Yeah, I mean, when I go, I want to grab something to drink. I want to grab some fair food. I want to spend more money than I brought because I'm an adult and I can. So for real, you're in Wisconsin, not even in Illinois near Chicago. You're not Disneyland there. You lived most of your life in Lake Charles, but you're in Mammoth now. I've been to Lake Charles several times. I've probably driven by your house. I don't know where Mammoth is or Mammoth. It's an hour and 15 at a minimum to Chicago. Yeah. I mean, I'm right by Bristol. It's 2 hours to Chicago proper and about an hour to the city limits from where I'm at. All right. Yeah. Anita, I lived in Leesville, Wisconsin. I would go to Lake Charles and Alexandria and DeRidder. All right. I'm one of those people that I did not appreciate my time in Louisiana nearly as much as I should have. Mostly because I got there and then I deployed right away. And then when I got back, we got hit by Hurricane Rita. And we were out of power for like a week. And I was like, man, this place sucks. But eventually, like, Leesville's no place to live. It's a military town. It's a town that exists because there's a military base there. Right? Uh-oh. No. They got me. They canceled my stream. Let's go back here. Let's get this best set up again. Alright, see if we can get people back in here. But yeah, I did not appreciate Louisiana as much as I should have when I lived there. But looking back on it now, it was definitely one of the better places the military sent me in its own unique way. So, for example, when I left Louisiana, I was stationed at a hospital, right? At Fort Polk, I was in a unit, right? And the unit had a command structure. When I got to the hospital, everyone was a chief. Everyone was a boss. Everyone was, in charge. Everyone except, for me. And so I ran around doing whatever I was told whenever I was told to do it, endlessly. Whereas at Fort Polk, you'd go, you'd do your job with the unit, you'd do formation at headquarters in the morning, and then you'd go to the motor pool, and you'd hang out and do whatever there, and it wasn't bad. Not nearly as bad as having 100 people in charge. And you're the only junior enlisted guy. So, there were other aspects of Louisiana that I enjoyed too. Like the food. Okay, here's a statement. Here's a controversial statement. Okay? The food in Louisiana is good. It's interesting. It's unique. Cajun food is really spicy and good. And, if you ever get a chance to try some, okay? As compared to the food in San Antonio, Texas, okay? So, everyone in San Antonio has their own little best place to get tacos, okay? Now, I went with a bunch of different people to go get tacos or Mexican food at a bunch of different establishments. And all of it tastes like dirt. I can't recommend a single one. The good tacos were at a place called Mama Margie's. They were breakfast tacos. And I really wish that we had a breakfast taco place here in Kenosha. But all the, this Mexican family ran this restaurant. They've been here for 30, 40 years and blah, blah, blah. I would not eat at any of those places ever again. Call me uncultured. Tell me that I'm wrong. It's fine. You can disagree with me. But I continue to remain unimpressed by San Antonio food, except for two places. I'm not impressed by Mama Margie's. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Mama Margie's. It's like fast food, breakfast tacos, chorizo and egg, and then there is a place called the Magnolia Pancake House in San Antonio. That's the other place. It's great to hang out. You're definitely one to admire in World Mail. Well, thanks, Anita. If you're checking out, or if you're taking off, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. So, Magnolia Pancake House in San Antonio, Texas is easily some of the best food I've ever had in my life. Okay? Best, just top notch. So good. I dream about it all the time. Outside of that, I was not impressed with, your local family-owned restaurant. There's better Mexican food here. So, and the food in Louisiana was definitely better than San Antonio. Except for those 2 examples I gave. Ow, my eyeball. Alright, what time is it? Okay, to everyone who is rejoining on TikTok, I apologize for the stream dropping. I knew it was coming, but, you know. That puzzle piece of death popped up and my phone is facing the other way, so not really anything I can do. Whoa. That's what I get for talking smack about San Antonio food. Alright, so I want to make, this is the tail, right? I want to make it a little bigger than the neck. The neck is like an inch wide in diameter. Once it's, this is the neck of the balloon dog, right? And once it's filled with ball bearings, it should be approximately an inch wide, give or take, right? I want the tail to be about 1.5 inches, so it looks like I gotta finish this row and then add 1 more row in there. And that'll be 2 of the 5 remaining pieces done. So I'll only have 3 left after today. The face and 2 ears. And I think I have enough rings left for the face and 1 ear. We'll see. Alright. Come on. And for everyone watching, right, when this is completed, okay, I need and I'll make this distinction when I finish it and get it to where I want, but I am making a balloon dog based off the crochet version of the balloon dog. I don't know if you guys have seen that tutorial. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. It cut me off and I had to open the live back up. I don't know if anyone else has seen the excuse me, the crochet balloon dogs. You can Google it. Oh, excuse me. But all this talking. Okay, where was I? Yes. So there is a crochet project based off of your standard issue clown made balloon dog, right? And what it is, I'll kind of lay this out here. Each of these sections is connected by a little chain in a certain order. Okay, and then it's folded up into the correct order to make the balloon animal, right? Excuse me. So it all starts as one long strand. I'm not gonna say what I think that looks like, but it all starts out like this, and then you fold it up into the balloon dog. But on the crochet version, you can see the chain in between, you know, the ears and the legs, and like it's just slightly obvious. So I'm not going to be able to hide it on here. Stainless steel does not bend like a rubber balloon. you know? So we are making the crochet, we are making the chainmail version of the crochet version of the balloon dog. I hope that explains things. I apologize for coughing so much. So, if I can nail the crochet version, I'm going to try for, yes, the combat crochet version. This is the combat crochet version of a balloon dog. So, if I can get this to look like the crochet version, I'm gonna try. I will eventually try for an actual like balloon dog sculpture, where all the ties, all the wraps and bends and whatever look hidden. They won't actually be there. But I think I can do it. You know, where the points of the ears kind of come together and the toes of the feet kind of come together. Make it look like that. But I don't know. We'll get there. We'll get there at some point. Lots of projects to make in between now and then. I would also like to make a really large version. Like, I don't know, 2 or 3 feet tall. 2 or 3 feet tall. This is going to be, okay, let's see here. These are 3 inches. Little over 3 inches. Probably 3 by the time it's done. Then 1 inch here. And then you've got ears. So this might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably 7 inches tall. 7, 7.5, something like that. That's a, you know, decent size for a chainmail balloon dog with 8,000 rings in it. No, I've got 1,000 of these ball bearings right now, and I'm going to order several thousand more because I ordered 3,000 of these, thinking that 3,000 of anything would absolutely fill this up, right? But no, this is like 3,000 grains of sand, right? It's not even like it. It fills up two of these fill up one leg section of the body, right? So one 3-inch section of the body takes 2 of these. So I gotta order some more. So it's gonna be heavy. Yeah, I'm gonna guess somewhere between 6.5 to 7.5 inches high, 5 inches wide, maybe, because it's this, and this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 6 inches wide, give or take. And then I don't know how much he's gonna weigh. So he's gonna be a hefty boy. Alright, thank you for sharing the live. Much appreciated. I've got a scale. Let me finish this row and then we'll weigh what we have. And we can make guesses on how much he's going to weigh when it's all said and done. You know what? I do like these little containers though. Right? So having to order a bunch of these is not going to be a total loss if I get a bunch of these little containers out of it. Do you know how many little baggies of rings I have laying around that could... It'd be so much easier to fill these instead. Oh my gosh. I'm almost just going to order more for the containers. Almost. Okay. My body does not like sitting here for the number of hours that I've sat here today. I woke up at... Okay, I mowed the lawn last night, and that kicked my butt. If you were watching me on stream last night, you know I was very tired after mowing the lawn. So tired that within an hour and a half, I had made like 2 quasi-major mistakes. They'd be a lot easier to take from one at a time, too. Yeah, as compared to, you know, some of the other containers I've used. Or trying to dig a ring out of a little plastic bag. So normally I'm up at 6:30. And I didn't wake up until 8 this morning. So I didn't get out, I didn't get down here until 9. But from 9 to noon, so 3 hours there. From probably 2 to 5, another 3 hours. And I got back down here at 8:30 is when I started streaming, I think. So, but that's okay. It's a Saturday well spent. It's too hot outside to do anything. I'm very glad I got my lawn mowed last night. And just relaxing in the air conditioning. So, and I know what you're thinking. But what about your family? Well, they didn't get up until like 11 o'clock. Noon, I think. They were sleeping in. And I cooked dinner tonight, too. I made some red beans and rice. It is one of our staple meals. I got some chicken thawed in the fridge. Excuse me. So, but I didn't get back upstairs in time to make that for dinner. So, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do with that tomorrow. It's like 6 chicken breasts or something. Usually we buy thighs. Bone in with skin chicken thighs. But for some reason I've got a bunch of chicken breast and figure out something to do with it. I'm not much of a cook. I'm a good eater. I'm not picky. I don't like beets. Not a big fan of peas by themselves. I'll eat them. in stuff, but other than that, there's not too much I don't enjoy. I just can't cook to save my life, right? Like, if you and me are trapped on a deserted island and we have, like, all the stuff we needed to cook, right? You would get tired of my food very quickly. It's all kind of the same. I'm big on dishes that you can eat out of a bowl, right? You're a good cook. It's your day job. Yeah, I think I knew that. Alright, so we need to add one more row to this. But in the interim, in the meantime... Alright, what is this music? I thought we were listening to, like, rock music. What is this? That'll work. Okay. Let's see here. All right. The front and back legs and the body and the neck weigh 1 pound, 0.1 ounces. How am I going to measure this? That's 5.1 ounces, so 1 pound, 5.2 ounces total. I want to weigh one of these empty. What am I doing? Let's see here. I don't want to spill these ball bearings all over the place. It really would be awful. Okay, what does this weigh empty? 0.6. So, what is 5.2 minus 0.6? 4.6. So 1 pound for one of these. No, one of these weighs is 4.6 ounces of beads. Now, my guess so far is that we're going to need 25 of them. So let's, I don't have my calculator. Calculate. Oh, I just updated to Windows 11. So I don't know where anything's at. 4.6 times 20 equals 92 divided by 16 is 5.75. So 5 pounds and 3/4 of an ounce. So 5 pounds. No, 5 pounds and 3/4 of a pound. 3/4 of a pound would be 12 ounces, right? And this was 1 pound. And if this is 1 pound and it's a little over half, let's just say the whole thing weighs 1 3/4 pounds. So I'm going to guess that we're going to come in right at, that's 5, 6, 7 1/4. I'm going to guess that this thing is going to weigh approximately 7 1/4 pounds when it's all done. Be sure to turn off your scales and your calipers when you're done using them. Your batteries will die very quickly if you don't. Alright. But we will weigh him when he's all said and done. Get all this out of my way. Oh, I need to. Ah! I lost some. No. You're very expensive. Alright. Is that 1,000 in each? I don't know. Your calipers die so much you just got analog? There you go. Alright. Thanks for all the like, guys. Thank you for all the likes, guys. Much appreciated. All right. I'm going to try and get this to a point where it's got all the dags on each side. Dags are little triangles that you see on the bottom of tapestries or on the bottom of armor. Little triangular sections. And they weave together to form the circle portion when this is filled up. Actually, where is this? There we go. I think I can show this. Okay. Make sure none of these leak out. So you put triangles on each side, and you can kind of see them on the overhead camera, right? But the triangles fold in to make this round, essentially, right? So this is what one of the feet will look like. One of the balloon dog feet, or the body, or whichever part this ends up being. I almost spilled that whole bottle. So these are the triangular sections so that we can close up this end. Right? Those are the dags. I want to get this to where it's as wide as we want, and then we add the triangles. How do you know how large the dags need to be? Okay, so these are 30 rings around. Okay, so when flat, they're like this piece here. They are 30 rings. There's 30 rings in this row right here. Okay, that's divisible by 6. I used 6. I could have used any number of triangles, but typically 6 gives you just the right angle to get a nice cup to your rounded out section. Like if you're making a section, a coif for your head, you do this. I do the 6 triangle method to make it circular and then expand from there. So how to explain this? So the dags are as long, that they are as big as they are because of how long this is. I made it divisible by 6. So if I had it 24. I added 6 more rings to it. If I did 36 or 42 or 48 or however many, the base of the DAG would still be, like, if it was 42, it'd be 7 rings wide. If it was 48, it'd be 8 rows wide. If it was 54, it would be 9 rows wide, right? Okay, so that is divisible by 6. Yeah, so that you can make 6 equal triangles, right? And if you have an odd number like 49 or 53 or, 35, the base of your triangles it's not going to match up. So I knew that I was going to close the ends of each of these sections. And there's 2 methods. You can do the contracture method, which is like every 3rd or 4th ring you hook 3 rings instead of 2 to close it up and go all the way around. I just made the triangles and put 45-degree seams in them. I'm not trying to like count out how many contractures I need to make each row, especially on rings this small, because my counting abilities suck to begin with, but then also trying to see what I'm doing or see what I'm counting, it helps your current project a lot. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. My advice is always free. Ask me any question about chainmail, and if I know the answer, I will tell you, and if I don't, I know where you can find it, most likely. And if it's my opinion on something, you can have that for free too. Okay. When I post this in the Chainmail group on Facebook, there's a couple groups. I 100% know that someone's gonna go, "Are you gonna make a tutorial?" And I'm just gonna be like, no, I'm not. This is not that hard of a concept to figure out. I did it all by myself. You can do it all by yourself too. So, outside of people asking for tutorials, I will gladly give all of my advice and knowledge away for free. Isn't there an app? Yeah, the app's in my link tree. But that's a collection of a body of knowledge where you can find stuff. It's not necessarily like... If there was a way to catalog everything and then make a encyclopedia, right? That would be cool. This is the tutorial. Yes. Sitting here watching me make it in real time is the tutorial. If you want to go back and watch all of my other YouTube videos, all my other streams. Actually, you know what? I don't think YouTube has been picking up videos, streams. I need to dig into why that is. All right. I don't know why. But the Purple app has been, yeah, we've had people show up on the Purple app. The problem with every platform outside of TikTok, because TikTok is being streamed from my phone, okay? And I don't know why, but the lag on my phone is less, my phone is connected to a Wi-Fi extender, which is plugged into a wall connected, to the modem, okay? The computer that I'm streaming from is hardlined into the modem. So I don't know why there's more lag to the platforms that I'm streaming to from my computer and not my phone down here in the basement. Like, No idea why that is. But the purple app is picking it up. It's just, it's laggy. Like it was when I was streaming 8 months ago, 10 months ago. I stopped because I thought I was getting connected to the fiber cable that they put in. And nope, I'm not. I'm not getting... I think it's hilarious that, like, oh, yeah, Wisconsin's putting... we're installing fiber all across the state and blah, 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 or wherever they're putting it. And I see crews putting in fiber cables all over the county, right? And no one in my neighborhood is connected to the fiber cable. So I don't know when it's going to be. All right, how far away is the modem? My house is probably... 60 feet wide, so it's 60 feet that way, roughly. One floor up. They did that in Michigan, but went around your town? Yeah. Well, my favorite part is that it's a private company funding all of the fiber being put in the ground. No one I know is connected, and the government keeps taking credit for it. It's like, our project is to put fiber in the ground. It's like, you don't really have anything to do with it, but even hardwired, you'll lose some after 50 feet. Yeah, but why is my phone better than the computer being hardwired in? Right? I don't get it. I don't pretend to understand it. Like I said, I need a professional for lighting, sound, and... Actually, if you could just get a professional streamer to take over my job and make all this chainmail for me, that'd be even better. But I don't, I don't know. You've been around a while. You know how many problems I've had with keeping this thing even going up. Well, because Wi-Fi is a lot better these days. I mean, maybe I'll try that. I'll unplug my computer and connect it to the Wi-Fi extender down here and see if it does better. Your Xbox somehow works better on the Wi-Fi when anyone else is using the hardline for internet. Also depends on what your computer is capable of. Well, my computer should be fine. I do want a bigger monitor. So I have a laptop. How many inches wide is this? 16? So it's a 14-inch screen or something. I want a monitor that takes up this whole space. Okay, I got a 4-foot wide desk. That's probably, I don't know how tall. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Probably 2.5 feet up, so yeah. Just buy a TV, yeah. Hell, sometimes you online game using your phone as a hotspot. Dang. Maybe that is my problem. I don't know. I'll unplug. Okay, we'll attempt it. I'll unplug the computer from the hard line, and we'll see what the drop rate is. And with the new modem, with the new modem, the Wi-Fi might actually be better. Your phone can hit 2 gigs per second, but your Alienware laptop even plugged in will only hit 700. If it's a hardware issue and not the modem and not the line and it's my computer, I do need a new computer. My son also needs a computer, and I don't know, not needs, wants. Let's go with wants. You got a new mesh Wi-Fi system? Well, I have AT&T, and AT&T and T-Mobile are both offering. I've signed up to be connected to the fiber cable out front through both companies. And whichever company gets to me first is going to get all my business, right? Right now I'm irritated with both of them. But I've got T-Mobile for my cell phone and AT&T for my internet. And so whoever connects me first is going to get both internet and cell phone. Right? Hey Astrid, how you doing? There's also 7 adults in this house on one network. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to look into... Well, we'll just try it. Next stream, I'll unplug the computer and you guys can tell me if the live is laggy or crappy or whatever. Who knows? Maybe it'll work. That would be insane. To me. And then if it's okay, if we've upgraded the modem and the computer's hardlined in and it's not working and the Wi-Fi, it doesn't work, then maybe it is the computer and I just need to buy another computer. But I don't need another thing to buy right now. Because I've got some lights I want. I've got to finish getting my motorcycle fixed. I've got back to school clothes to purchase. And I've got ball bearings to buy, because apparently I decided that I needed to make a project that required 25,000 ball bearings. So, just building for fair. How's it been? It's been good. It's been good. I finally got tired of waiting for someone, AT&T or T-Mobile, to connect me to the fiber line in front of my house, and I updated my modem, and now I'm trying to get back into streaming somewhat regularly. Kind of been going okay. This project kind of works for this project works for streaming. I'm working on a project to wrap my gas tank in leather and chainmail. The leather is to protect the gas tank from the chainmail. And that's not a stream-friendly project, because, well, it's not, trust me. You get to finally use your computer, moving to the front room soon to stream. No, very nice, very nice. Kansas City Fair, there you go. I haven't been to that one. So here I've been to Texas Renaissance Festival, I've been to Sherwood, I've been to the Maryland Renaissance Festival, and I've been to Bristol. So... And the worst was Bristol? No, I don't really have any complaints about Bristol. It's as expensive as the Texas Renaissance Festival. And it's almost as big. So my complaint about Bristol was like the whole you can't go back out to your car to eat food. They don't want you eating food in the parking lot, and the cost, right? My other complaint was that there's an unofficial Bristol Renaissance Fair group on Facebook, and it's adminned by complete losers. So, feel like Bristol is so tiny. Well, I mean, hang on. Come on. Bristol Fair, A-K-A-C-R-E-A-G. Bristol Renaissance Fair. Oh, yeah, it's like half the size of Texas Renaissance Festival. Texas. Yeah, okay, so it is half the size. Dang. That's how little I've gone there. I didn't even put the two together. So Texas is 55 acres, Texas Renaissance Festival, and Bristol is 30. So, favorite one is a Tuxedo Park, New York one. I haven't been there. Pretty sure that... Well, it is bullshit that it's a rule on their website. You said New York. Tuxedo. T-X-E-D-O Park Renaissance Fair. Tuxedo Park in New York is 65 acres, what it says. It's $40 per person, 50 to 25 parking. Their pickle stands are at least $8 each. Mech, are you getting filtered? Maybe. You might be. Yeah, I didn't realize that Bristol was so small. I thought it was comparable to TRF. Which, maybe my spatial dimension analyzing capabilities are not as good as I thought they were. No, it feels tiny. It doesn't feel huge. Like the parking lot's almost as big as the park, I guess. Yeah, I don't know how many booths there are. I'm sure you could look it up, but I'll tell you what I do know, okay? It's not Disney World. And so to have rules like Disney World is it's dumb. Yeah, I would say you were probably spoiled with the Tuxedo Park one as well. Now, okay, I say it's not Disney World. Shouldn't have prices like Disney World. But they are only bringing in money 2 months out of the year. So, I don't know. It's like the land has to be paid for somehow. You know, if the price was on par with the quality of the park, Those are insane rules. Yeah, like if you bring food in your car, I think, you know, eat food in your car. Who cares? Don't leave a mess. I like Sherwood when I was there. I only went once. Not Sherwood. What's the other Renaissance Festival in Texas? It might be Sherwood. Okay. I went to Sherwood once, I think it was, and we only got... we didn't stay for very long. But it wasn't very built up at that point. Like, it was very early on when it opened. Why not have a fall fest or have a Halloween party style? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they run it through the hottest part of the year in Wisconsin. To not compete with other nearby Renaissance festivals. They can't get other vendors? I don't know. May to October would be much more lucrative. Well, I can understand not keeping vendors there for 6 months. Okay, so there's Texas, there's Sherwood, and then the third one is like a Simon and Garfunkel song. Scarborough Fair. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? That's one of it. I don't remember if it was Sherwood or Scarborough Fair that I went to. One of them. It was like recently after it started. There's nothing near there other than maybe Milwaukee to do, but there's no other within an hour of Bristol. Yeah. Well, the closest one I'm aware of is the one in Janesville that is one weekend a year. So, I don't know. Are all the vendors from out of state? It was Minnesota Ren Fair you were thinking of that is owned by the same people that have Kansas City? Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. Not my call. I might go to Bristol next year. I would like to go to Janesville for 1 year. I want to park my bike covered in chainmail out in front of the gates. Right? In the motorcycle parking. And just see if it gets more attention than everything else. Alright, time to add the dags. Most vendors that you talk to were from Illinois, Minnesota, or Iowa? Warrior Squirrel sent a heart. Thank you so much. And became a member, number 7 fan in the fan club. I didn't know I had a fan club. Very cool. Why do I keep closing these rings? This is why I hate pre-closing rings. Maybe a few from the UP. Yeah, like my friend, I'm trying to think where my friend who vends there is from. And I think she's from Minnesota. My chainmail friend who vendors there. From Rogue Mail. There's actually another one. There's another vendor. Not Wayward and Whimsical. Is it Wayward and Whimsical? It's not Amanda. It's Tabitha. I forget what her shop is called, but she vends at Bristol. And so, like, that's... Okay, I want to take... a trip to the Renaissance Festival to see people I know. right? And I know 2 vendors there. So, like, my only point of going to the Renaissance Festival is to have some fair food and maybe spend more than I should on something. I don't know what. Draconic wares. Like, who is that? Do you think you saw Rogue Mail last year? I think you did too, if I remember correctly. Draconic wares. I don't know. I'd have to go look at my Facebook profile to see what these people's booth names are, business names are, because there's a lot of mailers and all of them have different names for their businesses, and there's a lot of people that get started and then stop. And Draconic Wares is the scales on Etsy. I don't know where they vend. Yeah, I don't either. I know the person that runs it. I just, like, because I followed them and they post their page. I just don't remember who it is. You have draft mail and work at Amanda Lynn Chainmail. There you go. Yeah. And that's another thing too, is people will have their business name and then it'll be different at their booth at the fair, and then their Facebook page will be like an odd combination of both. And what I'm saying is it's impossible for me to keep track of all of them. Not that someone couldn't do it, I'm just not very smart. So, like, okay, if you asked me about the Moorish Rose Starry Night chainmail inlay, I know the artist's name is Lisa Ellis, right? If you asked me about the guy that's making a 2-foot by 2-foot jelly cube, I know that's the administrator for the large chainmail group on Facebook. His name's Mike. If you ask me about, what's another piece that's been so stunning, I'm very much reminded of it. I'm the jelly cube guy, though. No, so this is an actual, like, my ringception cube is, what is it? Is it a foot wide by a foot tall or something? And that's, okay, Michael is making a cube with, is it 70 layers? It's something like 750,000 rings. And is it done? No, he's got like 60 layers done or something. It's like 3 inches thick. It's ridiculous. It's going to weigh over 200 pounds. Oh, is mine done? My cube? Yeah, my cube's done. My cube is done, and it's on a stand displayed in my basement. I did another cube too. Mech, what did you call it the other night? It's like a single tube of chain bent into the frame, a wireframe cube. That's what Mech called it, yeah. Which I think is a good name for it. I did that. Alright, what? Oh, it's 10:30. Okay. Alright. What do we got? We've got 2 legs, a body, 2 more legs, and a neck, and we're gonna have the tail. And I have this many rings left. Did I make this bracelet? No. This one. And this one I did. And I bought this from Masterlink Mail. His name's Greg. He's a good dude. He's in my area. I bought this one from Sassy Lass Studios. She was down at the Oddities and Curiosities Expo in Chicago. And I was like, alright, let's go down. Let's go see what they got. Just to show solidarity with my other chainmail artists. Well, how's it going for the project? I was going to use up spare rings. Sarah, I've got 2 legs. No, 4 legs, a body, a neck, and a tail. And I've got 3,000 ball bearings, and I need about 20,000 more to fill all of this. So, used to work for one of the vendors at the Oddities convention on the suspension team. Actually, you know what? I think we discussed that before. I think I knew that. So, it's going. See here. I bought my kid a dragon scale tail from Rogue Mail. I don't think I grabbed anything from them the last time I saw them. But every time I go see a vendor, I try to pick something up. Right? Like, see something I don't have or haven't made. To add to my collection. I've got an inlay from another chainmail artist. You know, it's just like whatever the cost is, whether or not I think it's overpriced, underpriced, whether I think I could do better or not, you know, like all of that goes out the window. I'm just like, okay, let me support this person in some way, you know, let me buy something. And I haven't been disappointed yet. So that's the one thing I love about chainmail is that everybody has that. They go through the growing pains of making all the basic stuff, and then you know they all experiment with different things and different ring sizes and different weaves, and it just. It all comes out different. I mean, yeah, a European 4-in-1 sheet made of the same ring size is going to look the same from one person to the next, you know. Or a Byzantine necklace is going to look the same from one person to the next using the same ring size. But usually, maybe it's just me, but people get... I know a lot of people seem to have a big aversion to Byzantine. The ring, Texas Renaissance Festival, Sherwood and Scarby. Mr. Boombody, how you doing? I wonder how bad the lag is over on Twitch, because we haven't been talking about Renaissance festivals in a minute. To be honest, you made me fall in love with Byzantine. I love Byzantine. I do. I don't have a necklace made of Byzantine. I did. I don't know what happened to it. I need to make 2 more. One for me, and I'm going to make one for my son. The things you can do with Byzantine, like interwoven Byzantine hexagons, that's a really cool technique. Just Byzantine hexagons is cool. And yeah, if you want to go see how far behind we are, I'd appreciate it. I remember one time I tried streaming to Instagram, and by the time, like, I only streamed for like 2 hours, but by the time I got back, the Instagram stream was still like 45 minutes behind. Am I still happy with the ring size and the size of the pieces? I mean, I'm as happy... I haven't even started the triangle pieces on Twitch yet. Yeah. Just now talking about what to do near Bristol. And only Walker James. Okay. Alright, well, Facebook apparently isn't that far behind. Am I still... Yeah, I'm happy with it. I just need a ring size that makes 4 in 1. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are we at 2 hours? Okay. Go live again. I'm gonna have to figure out. Figure out a way to mitigate this, whether to put like a mirror. You're over here now because TikTok died. Yeah, I just opened it back up on TikTok. I'm not going to be on much longer, but yes, Sarah, as far as your question is concerned, I'm happy with the ring size. Was it the best choice? I don't know. It seems to be fine. It's doing everything I want. It's a lot of, what do you call it? Like, it's a lot of rings. So, I don't know. Oh, this one is way far behind too? Yep. That's why I stopped streaming. So... maybe if we unplug the hard line and just let the computer... Yeah, you were just talking about your bike out front of the gates. Yeah, that's way far behind. Which is fine. Oh, don't do that. I'm going to finish up this side and then pop off. because it is getting late. Gotta make sure my kid gets to bed and everything. Facebook is still talking about draconic wares. Maybe, okay. Well, I'll unplug the computer from the modem, and we'll see if the lag continues. I don't know. I don't know what else to do at this point. You gotta try and get more than 5.5 hours of sleep? Yeah. Yes, you do. Are you still working 2 jobs? It's important to get that sleep. I get sure, I go to bed 11 o'clock, or no, I go to bed 11:30 every day. Obviously not today. I'll be up until midnight tonight. But during the work week, I'm in bed at 11:30. I get up at 6:30. And during the school year, from 6:30 to 8:30, I'm getting my kid up and making sure he gets to school on time, and then I'm going to work. See my first patient around 9. Kind of sort of am. On Wednesday, you worked a 13-hour day and have 21,187 steps. Nice. Finally started in antidepressant. Has been severely affecting my sleep, unfortunately. That sucks. Yeah. It's 10.5 miles. Nice. All right. Thanks for the arrows. What does that say? Popular? Oh, nice. And the vivid dreams are no bueno. I rarely ever have vivid dreams. I have them more often now than I didn't have any dreams for like 20 years. But I got a sleep apnea jet mask. Oh, excuse me. And it whenever it's working really well, I'll have some vivid dreams that I remember in the morning. If I'm not wearing it, or if it's like off by a little bit, I won't have any dreams. So I try to make sure that I'm wearing it correctly as best I can every night. When you use nicotine patches, you have the night terrors with a vengeance. Yeah, I've heard about that. People having problems with those. Alright, one last triangle. Okay. Okay, and then I'll have to do the other side tomorrow. That's why you're not using medications now, not patches. What? Did I count wrong here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I screwed up. Crap. That's not annoying at all. Well, then I didn't even finish this triangle. That's weird. Alright, I screwed up on the first one by 1 ring, and it put me off at the end of this. So the only way to fix this is to go down each side of each triangle. That sucks. I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm going to have to eventually, but I don't want to do it right now. You know what I mean? Alright, well, on Purple Lab, you probably only have one. Mr. Boombody, a 2-foot cube? Yeah, so I think we were talking about, what do you call it? Where are we at here? Night Terrors, electronic delivery device, there you go. Is this for sale? It will be eventually when it's done. Yeah, Mr. Boombody, a 2-foot cube. It's some huge dimension like that. It's like a cube with 750,000 rings in it. A cube like this right here. Right? Ronnie, how you doing? So, alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Undo that one. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I screwed up and I'm gonna have to fix it. But that's alright. Okay. Yeah, I use an electronic delivery device, and I use a the pouches. I've never used the patches or the gum. Actually, no, I've tried the gum. That was awful. Awful stuff.